Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, 5 ways to use leverage to advance faster in your career.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
Leverage is the entrepreneur's friend. It can help you do more with less.
And you can use it even if you never plan to own a business.
Today we'll share how to use this tool to advance more quickly in your career. Hi, I'm George, aka the Professor.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. This podcast episode is brought to you by This Isn't Working, a new book by our friend and colleague Catherine Morgan, who stopped by to tell us a little bit about it. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, George and Mary-Lynn.
Well, congratulations on the book, Catherine. It's #1 bestseller on Amazon in the work-related health area, so fantastic job.
Thank you. I actually hit 2 categories. The ebook hit 1 category and the paperback hit another category in
Awesome.
Sustainable business development, as in how do we create an organization that would be better for employees.
Wow.
Super.
That's awesome. So a lot of people can say I'm #1, but you can say I'm #1s. So that's that. And, you know, Catherine, you've been coaching clients through job and life transitions for more than 20 years. Who do you think would most benefit from your book?
Well, I very even-handedly covered both entrepreneurs and small business owners and corporate employees because my personal experience spans both. And I use stories from both and examples from both. So those are the people who I can really help. White-collar, brain renter professionals will find themselves reflected in the book.
And Catherine, what about this book makes it so relevant to today's times?
So let's talk about the rising epidemic of stress, anxiety, and depression in the society. According to the CDC, as of December 2022, the population at large was struggling 33.6% with either anxiety disorder or depressive disorder. So that's 1 in 3 people in the United States are currently struggling with this. I think that makes it relevant.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Unfortunately.
And what was the rate in 2019, you're asking? Funny you should ask. I think it was 10.3.
Wow.
So we have gone up 20 points
Amazing.
since the pandemic. So clearly this isn't working. Whatever we're doing personally and professionally is having a negative impact.
Is it the stress? Is it that people are being asked to do more? What do you think is really the underlying issue?
There's a couple, but to narrow it down to a few, one would be the badge of busyness, like judging your self-worth by how busy you are so that you're always jamming everything full and you're never taking any rest. It's toxic for both entrepreneurs and corporate employees who are both measured by innovation and change. And if you're on the hamster wheel of busy, guess what? You're not going to get the good ideas. You're not going to have the creative innovation. It's a bad metric because you're not necessarily even doing the right things. You're just staying busy to keep the wolves at bay and as a form of numbing. So that's one thing. Systemic overworking, both the work that entrepreneurs put on themselves, because we actually put a lot on our plate with false deadlines that we lose our minds over that we could just move because we forget that we're the people who put them there in the first place. You have less flexibility in a corporate job, but there are ways that you can reprioritize and that you can push back and that you can sense check. Are you actually spending your time on the right things? So those are 2 issues that I think apply broadly to your audience and to people in corporate.
Well, the book, This Isn't Working, #1s in all kinds of categories. Where can folks find the book, Catherine?
Well, the big A, as in Amazon, is a good place to look for it, but it should be available through your local bookseller should you want to go that route. And I look forward to hearing people's comments on it.
Fantastic. And of course, we've got the link to the book in our show notes for this episode as well. And Catherine, we can't thank you enough for taking some time to come by, and congratulations on the release of your first book.
Yeah.
Thanks, Catherine.
Thank you.
Most people think of leverage with money, but we realized that's just part of it. You can advance your career by using leverage, one of the most powerful tools in your toolkit.
So let's pull out the professor's whiteboard for 5 ways to use leverage to advance faster in your career.
All that stuff in that closet advanced faster when I opened that door, Mary-Lynn. Right at me.
That it does. Okay. So our first way to use leverage to advance faster in your career is to leverage your expertise.
Most people don't realize this. Expertise isn't about knowledge. Knowledge is wasted until it's applied. But you can use your knowledge to act and move things forward.
Yeah, you can bring new insights and or a different perspective. For example, what's close to you? What problems do you see?
What solutions can you offer? Ask these questions to leverage your expertise.
The second way to use leverage to advance faster in your career, leverage your talents. Talents are gifts which have been developed. You're born with gifts and you develop talents. At that point, you have something useful.
You know, we can think about it like a manufacturing process. Gifts are the raw material coming into the manufacturing process. Talent is the finished product. It's what we have left once we've developed our talent fully. Is your product fully finished? Is your talent fully finished? If not, what do you need to do? If so, how can you use it? Once again, think about problems and solutions.
Today we're sharing 5 ways to use leverage to advance faster in your career. And the third way is to leverage your network. Most people work their network intermittently. I mean, we're all pretty guilty of that sometimes. We get lazy, and then when we need something, we got to reach out to our network. Otherwise, it's rarely given a thought. But successful people, and you'll notice this, the most successful people work their network continually, and they use all the tools at their disposal, including social media. So you got to work that network.
And since Big Success is all about helping you find and keep your focus, think about your core 10. Who are the 10 people you would contact if you got laid off? That is, if you work for somebody. Or if you're thinking of expanding your business, who are the 10 people you would reach out to first to talk about that? Mm-hmm. Don't wait to reach out. Reach out to them now. Build and maintain that relationship.
The fourth way to use leverage to advance in your career faster is to leverage your track record. Now, note we didn't say your experience, because there's a big difference, and that's big with 2 G's. A big difference between a track record and experience.
Yeah, a person can work at a job for 20 years, but they may only have 1 year of experience 20 times. If they're not changing with the times. Experience is about time. A track record is about the accomplishments or lack thereof. Ask yourself, what quantifiable differences have I made?
And the fifth way to use leverage to advance faster in your career, leverage your assets. So what are your assets? Most people immediately think money. Mm-hmm. Is that the case, Professor?
Yes, it is.
But not just the money you have.
Exactly.
The way you manage your money can be an asset or a liability.
Yeah, as long as you spend less than you make, it's an asset. Even when the amount of money is small, the mindset is an asset because it will create more opportunities for you in the future. But it's not just about money. Your education is an asset. It can provide you with a unique point of view, especially if you have a well-rounded education, whether it's a formal education or not.
Thank you, Professor, for acknowledging that. Okay.
Of course.
So let's review the 5 ways to use leverage to advance faster in your career. Number 1, leverage your expertise. 2, leverage your talents. 3, leverage your network. 4, leverage your track record. And 5, leverage your assets.
Now, the awesome thing is, as you use leverage to act on opportunities, you'll attract even more opportunities, and that leads to big success.
Not sure which direction you should take in your career? Our free life purpose quiz can help. Take it at BigSuccess.com.
We thank you so much for listening today. Shout out to all our listeners in Glendale, Arizona.
And please Please join us next time. We'll share 3 attitudes about money that rob you of financial success. Until then,
here's to your big success.
Find big success at BIGGsuccess.com.